Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Wednesday. That feels like a Friday. So while it is hump day and I will sing my hump day tune, it is the final day of the week for most of us because it's Thanksgiving. So it is hump day. Don't forget to hump someone you love, but also acknowledge the space that you're in. It is the last day of work before a blessed holiday. I love Thanksgiving. Hey, Jax, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's such an exciting week. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving is really one of the peak days of the year. I feel like when you think about it, you realize how wonderful it is, but it doesn't get the hype that it deserves because everyone's focused on Thanksgiving, even like the Friday after Thanksgiving. But like the Wednesday before, it's all ahead of us. We have everything to look forward to. It's Thanksgiving Eve, and I'm really getting into the spirit this year, and it's been really wonderful.
I really want to kiss on the mouth of the person who decided Thanksgiving would be on a Thursday. Would I have preferred perhaps a Wednesday? Yes. But the fact that it's not a Friday, it's not a Saturday, it's not a Sunday, it's Thursday, which means we get Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday is like a half day. No one's really like giving Wednesday any energy.
Oh, I feel like today is so full for me. I'm so busy between work stuff and prepping for the big meal ahead. But it's going to make tomorrow even more sweet, like knowing how much I put in today. And it's going to make the whole weekend like really great. I'm feeling really, really good about the season, guys.
I'm feeling good about it too. It's really the most wonderful time of the year. And I'm just excited for all of us. I'm thrilled. I'm overjoyed. I'm feeling humbled, honestly.
As you should be. Humble pie.
And I know like the Thanksgiving is all about like, you know, the Pilgrims and Columbus. And I know we've canceled Columbus. But can I just say how grateful I am that like we've not taken that energy to Thanksgiving? Like I know the story, but like I still want to celebrate. Not really even for, you know, America, but for me.
Well, I feel like it's become less about the history and more just about
being thankful.
Honestly, acknowledging the space that you're in and being grateful. And it's just a day of the year that we as a country just take time to say thanks for the things in our life. Of course, it harks back to like being thankful for America, but we're also just thankful for the things that are going on for us personally.
And, you know, speaking of, Jax, what are you thankful for? And by the way, this is like a message. If your family does this where you go around the table, start thinking of your answers now because you don't want to be a disappointment to like your parents, your grandparents. Like say something meaningful. So Jax, what are you thankful for?
For sure. But I also feel like it shouldn't be that hard, you know? Like,
of course.
People really
some
like
people are like, I'm thankful
over
for this gravy.
Some people hate the question like and want to hope no one brings it up. But like, just look around. Like if you're at a gorgeous Thanksgiving meal surrounded by loved ones, like you have a lot to be thankful for.
So true. So
I'm thankful for everything, every breath, every family member that in my life. Like I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for life. L'chaim.
L'chaim. I'm thankful for all of those as well. I'm thankful for the toasters. I'm thankful for Diet Coke. I'm thankful for my sis, Jax, this wonderful business we've created, that I'm living my dream. I really am. There's a lot to be thankful for.
There really is. And I'm thankful for the Strice brethren because even though they don't want to work, even though they don't want to work, they are the reason that we work so hard, you know, to give them all of the bully sticks and dental sticks and kibble that their hearts could ever want.
So true. Jax, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's been a great year. It's been a great year for the toast. And I'm just looking forward to really ending the year in a peaceful, even though the end of the year is like so chaotic for me because like the last episode of the toast is December 16th. That's when season 5 officially ends. And I have 1 million things to do before then, like before I can officially wrap up the year. But I have finally put together my holiday travel plans. It took a long time. I was supposed to go this place but I finally ended up this week actually finalizing it, and I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited for you too. You'll have to share all the deets with me offline.
Yeah, well, me and Ben were supposed to be going to Paris, but then it was like so expensive, and I'm like, for what? Like, I'm not even Catholic. Like, I don't even celebrate Christmas. Like, why do I have to be in Paris for Christmas? And I'm like, I have the luxury of like Carrie and Big. I have the luxury of designing my own life. I have my own business and I don't have any children. Like, I can go to Paris whenever. Why am I going to go at the most expensive time of year?
It's a beautiful time to be in the city of lights.
I know. And I've never been. Like, I really want to go.
I was like so obsessed with you going to Paris.
Jackie couldn't believe. She was like making fun of me, like making me not want to go.
No, not that.
Yes,
first,
exactly that.
No. First, when you told me that, when we were just like talking about Christmas plans a few months ago, and you told me that you and Ben were thinking of going to Paris, I fell off my chair. I fell off my chair because you're always a beach. You'll always take a beach over a city, let alone like, you know, a historic city that's a lot of, you know, sightseeing. And I know that's not what you will do all the time, but like you could go anywhere in the world. As you stated, you have the luxury of designing your own life. And like you chose to go to Paris. It was a shocking choice for me. But then I started to get so excited thinking about like all of the things that I needed you to do so that I could live vicariously through you, like, of course, shopping, but also Versailles. Mm-hmm. There's so much great royal history there that I would have loved for you to see. And I got really, first I was shocked, then I was in denial, then I was a little angry that I wasn't going. But then by the time I reached acceptance, I was really excited for you. And now you're not even going.
You did kind of glaze over the mocking phase, but it's fine. I'm strong enough to live without you. She made fun of me endlessly, told everyone she knew that it was the funniest thing. Like, what's so funny?
I didn't make fun of you. I just like couldn't stop bringing it up.
She made fun.
I was just like to everyone, like, guess where Claudia is going. You'll never guess.
Right. No, like making fun, you guys. But it's fine. I didn't go because I was literally mocked out of it.
Oh my God, stop. I sat with you and we tried to watch certain documentaries about Napoleon to get you
Eventually
excited.
she came around. But I'm not even going anymore. So all of that for nothing.
I'm so
disappointed,
let down, but I feel like you'll go now that you have the Parisian itch. I feel like you'll go soon. Also, it's worth saying I've never been to Paris, so like it was just crazy that you were going to do something by yourself without me. Like,
no, you were hurting me because you were hurt. Hurt people.
Yeah, I think I was hurt. I was obviously shocked. I was probably a little jealous too. Like, you're going to Paris.
And you're always going to be the girl who didn't
go to Paris.
That's going to be you.
It was just a lot. And I feel like if the toasters who are listening, like, because they know you so well, will understand why I was shook to the core.
No, because like one thing about me is like I really don't like Europe. Like, I don't like those types of vacations unless it's like the south of France or Positano, you know, like
beach exclusion,
like vacations that require like walking tours and history and sightseeing. Like, that's not how I'm ever going to choose to spend my money and my time. And the only person who hates that shit more than me is Ben. So I really wanted to go somewhere I'd never been before. And it's like, we've done every vacation we ever do is beach, Caribbean, beach, British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos. So we're like, let's do something different. We're trying to think of places we've never been before that aren't so far. I can't go over like 8 hours on a plane unless I'm going to Israel because I have to connect with my spirituality. But other than that, like I'm never going to go to South Africa. Like, I'm never going to go anywhere that's double-digit flight hours.
Even if Shannon's there?
Even if Shannon's there.
Wow.
Even though, you know, the Oshry family, we are descendants of South Africa. So I'm still never going to go. And when it came down to choosing a location, it was honestly like on either London or Paris. I could never go to London without you. So I was left with Paris. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I could take some cute pics by the Eiffel Tower, eat French fries, smoke cigarettes. Like, the only reason Ben wanted to go was because he wanted to smoke cigarettes.
For those French cigarettes?
For the French cigarettes. Like, it seemed like the right choice. But then when it came to time to booking stuff, like my first and, let's be real, probably only trip to Paris, like, I'm doing it up. I want to stay at Dodi and Mohammed Fayed's hotel. I want to stay at the Ritz. During the holiday, $20,000. Like, that's not going to work for me. So I have decided now, after, you know, a lot of hype, I'll tell everyone where I'm going. I'm going to Belize in South America. I can't believe it. I'm so excited, and I'm going with Brian, which, you know, I honestly have not traveled without Brian since I've met him. Honestly, when I think back to all the amazing trips I've taken, they're all with Brian. It's because Brian knows how to plan. He knows how to travel. He finds like these great destinations that aren't torturous. It's a nonstop flight. Like, he really, I've become extremely spoiled by being best friends with the points guy. And I tried to travel without him, and I couldn't do it. So I'm going with Brian.
Well, that's going to be so fun. I'm excited for our break at the end of the year. We do it every year. So if you're a new toaster, the season ends. We always take like the last 2 work weeks off of the year for our respective vacations. And I'm looking forward to a little R&R.
Yeah, I am too. And I'm not leaving till, you know, the end of the month. So I'll have some nice time at home with Theo and then a little adventure in South America. I've never even been to South America. I'm low-key, like, not well-traveled, but I travel a lot. Although I did come to the conclusion when I was in Charlotte, we were on a long car ride and I was bored. I tallied up all the states I've been to because of tour. I was like curious if have I been close to like 50 of them. I've been to 36, and I think a goal of mine is going to be going to all 50.
That's so cool. You should get a map where you put like I
actually have a map. It was a gift from someone I no longer speak to, so I don't use it. But it's like a little pinpoint map to track my tour. It was actually a very thoughtful gift from a really deeply unwell person. So
I'm looking at a map to see where Belize is because it's not where I would have guessed.
No, you're telling me Belize is not in Spain? I think of Belize as like Ibiza.
Oh, no, I was thinking of Belize. If I had to give a guess, I would have probably said somewhere in the Caribbean.
It's not far from the Caribbean.
Not.
It's South America. It's like by Chile and Nicaragua.
But it's not an island. I would have thought it was an island. It's not.
So where we're staying is an island. Like you take a little plane from Belize.
What's the name of the island?
I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
I guess don't tell me like exactly where you're staying on the show.
Yeah, no, I definitely won't do that.
Sorry.
So I'm excited. Adventure
I was getting
awaits.
caught up in the geography.
Do you know that Belize is home to the second largest barrier reef in the world?
What's the first largest? The Great Barrier Reef?
The Great Barrier Reef, yes.
The Great. So is this the good Barrier Reef?
It's the decent Barrier Reef.
And will you be visiting this Barrier Reef?
Of course, I'm going to scuba and, well, I don't scuba, snorkel, and I'm so excited. Like, Brian's really gotten me out of my comfort zone when it comes to vacationing. Like, prior to Brian, like, I would go on a beach vacation and, like, not leave the hotel, sit my ass on the beach. With Brian, it's like, let's go scuba diving. Let's take out a boat one day. Let's check out these, like, different caves. Like, I'm really so adventurous.
So adventurous. I need Brian to take you on a ski trip so that you get into skiing. Does Brian ski?
You know what's so funny? I don't think Brian is like literally too tall to ski.
I know.
But he's so athletic. I'm sure he's just the type of person who's like skied a few times, but like if somebody invited him to Aspen, he would be like on the Black Diamond.
And he'd be fine. Yeah.
He'd be perfect. That's Brian.
Yeah.
Like he could try anything and like be perfect at it, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to like send him a text to get you to take you on a ski trip, and then I'll come and then we'll all ski.
One thing about me is like I cannot ski. I don't know if it's the skis themselves or just the sheer fact that like my shins are required to hold up my entire body weight, but like I'm physically incapable.
I think you could do anything that you set your mind to.
I don't think that's true.
Of which, I have set my mind to something and I'm making such major strides in my goal and I'm feeling so #proud.
Driving?
Because I am learning how to drive. I had my first 2-hour driving lesson yesterday with the driving school. I'm practicing on my off days, but it was my first like full lesson in the car with the thing on the hood, you know, student driver. The whole car is branded. The driver has brakes and gas to the right. And I was incredible yesterday.
I heard that the teacher told you that you could pass today.
Yeah, it was so crazy because last week I drove with Zach just to the grocery store and I had never had Zach take me on a driving lesson before. So I was so surprised at how like calm and patient he was. And like he was really like, I guess he just decided he was going to be a good teacher and he was like just being so level-headed and like really patient with me.
That's so nice.
But still, it's like jerky and the stops were jerky and I didn't feel like I was a very good driver and it made me like dread driving and that I'll never actually enjoy it because even with like a good instructor, like I just wasn't enjoying it. But then yesterday when I was with like a new instructor, from the minute like we pulled out, your girl was cruising. Your girl was so comfortable, like the stop signs, jerks, what, who, and then I was starting to feel like it was the kind of car that I was driving.
So all cars drive differently, and like mastering the level of pressure you need to put on the brake in each car is so different, and it's kind of psychotic.
Yeah, no, so like this Mazda was made for me and I'm so excited for when I do get my license and I can get a car. Like now the Mazda's in the running. I'm actually thinking about getting a compact car instead of a midsize SUV because I liked being more in control of my vehicle. I didn't see that for myself. And we drove for 2 hours. I drove the entire time. We did all of the different like parking, 3-point turn. I thought 3-point turn was going to be like the hardest part of driving. Like
no, it's low key easy.
It's pretty logical.
It's math.
It's right, left, right.
Yeah, or left, right, left.
Or depending on the turn, maybe it is left, right. Yeah, it's left, right, left. You're right about that. And I even drove on the highway,
Cher Horowitz,
the fucking freeway. It was wild. And I was so comfortable. And it was really a turning point for me, like in realizing that I'm going to get my license soon. I'm going to be driving here, there, everywhere, and I'm going to have freedom. And I'm really excited. And that's really like, I'm sure there'll be other things that I want to do or accomplish in life, but there have been like a few big things over the years that I've needed to tick off, like cooking. Look at your girl. Look at your girl came through with flying colors. And like driving for the last 15 years has been stuck at the top of this list. And like, once I accomplish this, like, I'm just feeling so proud. Like, set goals, accomplish them.
Tackling new skills as an adult is so fulfilling.
And that's how I felt at one point about skiing. Like, teaching myself how to ski as an adult was a huge thing, and now I love skiing, and I feel like it could happen for you.
Well, by the way, that's why I was like so emo when I was talking about reading the other day.
Right. It's this, and I feel the same way about reading for me.
Yeah.
Like something in my adult life that I just didn't see for myself. So now once I finish driving, like I'm going to have to sit down with my Buckingham Palace planner and think about like, what are other things that I want to learn how to do in life?
Well, a couple of years ago, I taught myself how to knit, and I still remember it's like something you never forget. And it's one of my favorite, I don't do it enough, but it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
That's a good hobby.
Yeah, it is a good hobby. I'm a little short on time for hobbies right now. So it needs to be something that's not just like.
It has to be functional too.
It has to be functional, like cooking. I'm feeding a family.
Right. Well, while you were feeding your family last night, I finally got to see that play I've been talking about for like a month, called Titanic, the musical. Titanic spelled Titanique. And oh my God, Jackie, you would love. So it's like a parody of the film.
Okay.
With Jack and Rose and Kathy Bates, and they like have all these characters who play like the Victor Garber character, who play the Kathy Bates character, but it's like nobody knows those people's names. They only know Jack and Rose. So Victor Garber's character's name was Victor Garber. It was so funny. It was like this very satirical retelling of Titanic with music, and all the music was Celine Dion, and Celine Dion was like the host of the storytelling, and the woman who played Celine Dion, first of all, had an amazing voice and did the best Celine Dion,
I'm sure,
accent. How are we? Thank you very much. It was so good. I was cackling. You know, I hate plays. Like, it's just not my thing. But it was 90 minutes, no intermission, perfect length. Broadway, take notes. And it was hysterical. And there were moments of it where I was like, damn, like would be even funnier if Titanic wasn't like an actual tragedy that killed 2,000 people. But I did feel like they remedied that. Like, first of all, at the end, they had everyone sing My Heart Will Go On, like in memory of the people who passed away. It was really sweet. And they do something in I don't want to spoil it, but like a part of the plot that they change, like actually it's like more dignified. It was amazing. I need to see it again because I need to just like absorb it once again. It was so good.
That's awesome.
It really was.
I'm happy you had a nice night out. And then you went to Rebecca's engagement party.
Yes, and then I headed off to Becky from the Redheads, who got engaged last night. We had like a surprise party for her right after she got engaged. Your presence was sorely missed, but when I tell you I never saw a bitch so happy in my fucking life. Like, she was screaming. I've been to a lot of engagement parties, and honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a girl so excited. Like, so happy. Oh. Obviously, she was happy to get engaged, but I think she was so shook that like everyone from her life, like friends from different, from camp, from college, from home, her family, like from out of town, everyone was in town. And I think like she was just really overwhelmed. And it was such a happy night. It was a true simcha.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
It really was.
I spoke to you guys last night, but I'm going to call Bex again today. I'm so happy for her. And we'll be celebrating on Redheads for sure.
We'll be celebrating.
Also, Redheads programming update. I'll share on our Instagram, but we're going to drop the episode a week later than usual for a few reasons. One, it will allow us to record together in person, which is always exciting. And two, as it is the last episode of the year, we do a whole roundup of all the books that we read this year, our top 3 books that we each read personally. We all vote on the number 1, 2, and 3 Redheads books of the year. And so we want to have that extra week to like read more books so that we can add it into our roundup. So
stunning. Second
Thursday of December, the Redheads will be here.
So that's all the catching up that I had to do. We have a fab show. We've got 5 stories, but it's also Wednesday. And so we're going to finish off this week, with a little grace. We're going to help our toasters through whatever it is they're going through. We have some unique Dear Toasters. I want to say our third and final one is unlike anything we've ever had. And it will tug at the heartstrings. That's what I'll say.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to get into that. We have some interesting stories too. And I think it'll be great to carry us into the Thanksgiving week. Also, just need to plug 1 second. Did you see my pie last night?
I did. Everyone's talking about it.
Dulce de leche apple pie, Magnolia table recipe. Can you believe it?
I can't.
Your girl cooked a pie. Cross it off the list. Have you ever made a pie?
No.
It's
a lot of work.
It's hard work. The coal miners could never.
Literally never.
Literally. So without further ado, where are the Joyce brethren? Oh, they're cooking the turkey for Thanksgiving. Thank you, brethren. It is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before the glorious holiday weekend. Bing.
And today's episode is brought to you by Shopify. Are you ready to be your own boss yet because your boss is a wench? Start, run, and grow your own successful business with Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform. They make it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere, whether your thing is vintage teas, recipes. Start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of your favorite businesses worldwide, including the toast. Our merch is on Shopify. Jackie O Flow is on Shopify. Pretty much anything we do e-commerce wise is on Shopify. And I have to say, I've used a lot of platforms. It is by far the simplest, the most effective, and just like the most easy to use. They have all the sales channels sorted so your business can keep growing, from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, even across social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And thanks to their 24/7 support and free libraries full of educational content, Shopify's got you every step of the way. It's how every minute new sellers around the world make their first sale with Shopify, and you will too. So they make selling simple so you can put yourself and your ideas out there. Whether your thing is making ebooks or earrings, Shopify makes your success possible. If you're ready to launch and do your thing in the spotlight, do it with Shopify. You won't regret it. The commerce platform that is backed by millions of business, including your girls here at The Toast. So if you want to sign up for a free trial, go to shopify.com/toast. Use that all lowercase, shopify.com/TOAST to start selling online today. That's SHOPIFY.com/toast. You won't regret it. And if this is, something you've been wanting to do, start your own business, perhaps this is the sign, the push that you need.
Yes. If you didn't know where to start. No, I was just thinking about that when you were reading for Shopify. Like, if you have an itch to start your own business, if you have an idea, but you have no idea where to start, Shopify.
No, and then really, if that's your resolution, get everything sorted now. Start designing on Shopify. And then by the time the new year launches, you're going to be ready, and your resolution will already be easy to complete.
To execute.
So today's episode is also brought to you by Spritz Society, because we have major news for our Patreon members. We are officially 48 hours away from Spritz Society's biggest sale of the year, which is Black Friday. Have you been waiting for the perfect time to try Spritz, or do you just want to stock up for the holidays? The moment has finally arrived. They will be 25% off site-wide starting Friday, Black Friday this Friday. That's 25% off all of their iconic flavors: peach, grapefruit, blood orange, pineapple, and lemon. But we had to give a little something special for our stunning toasters over at Patreon. So starting today, Patreon members will receive an exclusive Black Friday offer just for them. There's never been a deal like this. It is a bigger deal than the Black Friday deal that starts Friday. If you're looking for the code and everything, go to the Patreon. It's already up there. You can shop directly from there. I have to say, I'm always trying to get Ben to increase our code TOAST and margins, things like that. So he says no. So 25% off on spritzsociety.com starting Friday, and then a bigger percentage off when you're a Patreon member and you can shop right now. It's kind of everything of the sort. It's never too late to sign up for the Patreon. Sign up now, log on, start shopping Spritz Society, and you can thank us later.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Two great tips. Two great toast-approved tips.
From two great girls.
Let's talk about that.
I wish someone would.
Okay, are you ready for our first story that's so fucking twisted it had to be the first story?
Okay, I am, but can I talk about something about myself really quickly for one last thing before we start talking about other people?
Look at my microphone. Sure.
So yesterday we posted on our Instagram a little graphic of Claudia's favorite stories, things she's always repeating.
Yes.
And a lot of people had good suggestions for things that we should add. And I think a lot of people also got confused between this list and the list of my regrets. They're very different. This list is stories like I'm always telling, acting like it's the first time you guys have ever heard them.
Yes. Also, there's a difference. Some people were writing like stories that are just like a story that you've told once that's like a famous story. Yeah, but Paul, that's in like the.
But I've only said that once, so that's not one of my favorite repetitive stories.
No, there's a difference between like a famous Claudia story and a story. It's like no one could say anything, and Claudia finds a way to bring up this story that she loves talking about.
So a good example of that we should add to the list is me being on a boat with Leonardo DiCaprio. I talk about it all the time. It was in my book.
Yes, I just will say, considering like the magnitude of that, you actually don't talk about it. Like it's not like, Keenan's Uber drivers where it's like, no, like, okay, to hear it once is enough.
No, I completely agree.
Okay.
Also, I don't really talk about this that much anymore, but that other episode of SVU where the nanny was kept in the trundle.
Maybe just SVU.
Okay. Hold on, let me keep
there
reading.
You know what? I have to be the one to determine because I'm the one who listens to him.
Oh, the celebrity documentary conversation. Like I do always like drag Shawn Mendes and praise Lady Gaga.
So fucking true.
So fucking true. Like whenever we're talking about celebrity documentaries, I talk about how like either you need one, Lady Gaga, or you don't need one, Shawn Mendes. And it's true.
Oh my God, it's so fucking true. You're always talking about 5'2".
I am always talking about 5'2". Also, I didn't realize I spoke about this that much, but I must, because somebody was like, when Claudia was in her first year of her communication course and half the class said they wanted to grow up and be Juliana Rancic. I've only said that like twice.
Yeah, I agree. It's not there yet.
But it's so true. Like
Jessica Simpson being your birthday buddy.
I just can't talk about Jessica Simpson without mentioning that we do have the same birthday because it's like literally part of my personality.
Also, people who commented Cuba Gooding Jr., like, are you guys okay?
I don't really talk about it that much.
No, not even that. But like this list is like a joke. Like it's that's positive, not a joke.
No, and it's only funny when I say it. Not when
no,
you
and
say
it's like it's not annoying that you keep talking about the time that you were harassed by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Sam Hunt's DUI.
Okay,
I do talk about that a lot.
I feel like though we're straying though from like
I agree.
Dennis's funeral. That's like textbook. The
no,
photo of Meghan and Harry with the umbrella, yes.
So iconic. So literally movie star. Movie star.
I'm going to have to go through this list and edit because we're getting far away.
I trust you. But thank you to everyone for their suggestions and recommendations.
Yeah, like someone suggested Bon Nuit, and it's like, no, that's just a famous Claudia story.
I've only told it once. Same with Paul Rudd. But he did teach me gymnastics. I'll take that to the grave. I have to meet Paul Rudd. I have to ask him if he ever worked at 5-Star Gymnastics in Long Island. Like
Claudia, Slumdog Millionaire.
Sweeping the Oscars. Totally.
Sweeping. That's the perfect example.
Yeah. But they did. They swept the Oscars that year.
Oh, here's a great one. The tax story.
The what?
About how you like your first year of being an influencer taxes.
Do I tell that story a lot?
A couple. And I think it was in your book too.
It was in my book. All the more reason to go purchase it. girlwithnojob.com/book.
Yes. There was one other thing that I just wanted to say, and then we can move on. Oh, the voice class you took in college.
What do I say about that?
I don't know, but that's not Dennis's funeral.
Someone said, I did take voice lessons in college.
Here's a story you don't talk about enough. The time you flushed the car keys down for the rental car in the highway bathroom. That's what we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
Because she wants us to forget, and some of us can't.
Because I want to forgive you, and I want to forget you.
That
was a tough day for me. That was a really, really tough day for me.
And by the way, it's not just like the rental car keys. It's the Jaguar rental car that we rented to treat ourselves for a really fun weekend.
I am waiting for the day because we just like left that rental car in some parking lot, and like
I believe it's still there.
Budget rental car was like, yeah, we'll come pick it up. I believe that somebody like one of these days I'm going to open up my credit card bill and there's going to be like a $250,000 charge from Budget for like the car that we never returned.
No, you're going to go to buy a house and you can't get a loan because you have horrible credit.
God forbid, knock wood.
Actually, you check your credit score though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and Chase always lets you know when like
when it drops.
Yeah.
No, nothing has happened yet. And I like to think that they retrieved the car, but there's truly no way of knowing.
Unless we were to go.
It's probably still sitting in that Connecticut rest stop. Because there's no key. You can't even steal it. Like,
damn. No, you could steal without a key.
Yeah, that's true.
And we left it open. But yeah.
We did leave it open because we didn't have any key to lock it. That was
also,
a hard day
the
for
key is like in the sewage system, so it's probably still connected.
It's in the ocean now.
That's true.
Not me polluting.
Okay, now let's get into our first story that is so twisted that it had to be the first story. Balenciaga apologizes for a bondage-themed campaign featuring a child and an excerpt from a SCOTUS ruling on child pornography. So Balenciaga has had to apologize in the last one day for 2 instances of sexual misconduct relating to minors. First, they have a campaign that has kids posing for kids' clothes and holding bears that are wearing BDSM style harnesses, which elicited outrage from people who saw these images. And then some eagle-eyed viewers saw that one of their photos that they posted is one of their bags on a pile of documents on a desk, and the documents are actually the ruling from a Supreme Court ruling that relate to child pornography and actually upheld part of a federal child pornography law. So Balenciaga issued a statement, and they appear to be laying blame at the photographer and are vowing to sue the photographer. But their statement said, "We apologize for displaying unsettling documents in our campaign. We take this matter very seriously, and we are taking legal action against the parties responsible for creating the set and including unapproved items for our Spring 23 campaign photo shoot. We strongly condemn abuse of children in any form. We stand for children's safety and well-being." I just feel like if you get into a place where you have to say we strongly condemn abuse of children in any form, as if it was up for debate, you got a problem.
No, here's what's like, I saw at first like the pictures of the kids. I'm like, that's just like really bad judgment. I think like, while it's inexcusable, I could see how like people would like not think of it or whatever. I could see how maybe it slipped through the cracks. But then that paper with the SCOTUS thing, I'm like, this is layered. This is like a conspiracy, like maybe signaling to all, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
No, like there is at least one child abuser who is working at Balenciaga or on this campaign, like working through the photographer, whatever, like root him out or her.
No, it's very disturbing. This is like not, it's giving him, obviously.
But also when they had to apologize for the bears thing, that was a separate Instagram story. And they said our plush bear bag should not have been featured with children in this campaign. But it's like, why? Who are the bears for if not children? So who are you making a BDSM bear for? If you're making it for adults who are then still fucking pedophiles weird. Who are into bears.
No, fuzzies is what they call themselves. Furries. Furries. If you're into stuffed animals, that's a thing.
But I didn't know that Balenciaga was like making swag for the furries community. It's a pretty niche audience.
No, it's definitely a different strategy, something we've never seen before. It's tough. That's a competitive market, that luxury stores. But the thing is like, like, this is like not okay. It's not normal. No. I don't know what the fuck these people are thinking. And every now and then, you know, like a brand will get backlash. And sometimes I feel as though, you know, people are being dramatic or like looking into it.
Or like you could really see a world where a bunch of idiots didn't realize.
This is so, like, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like
fucking twisted
and calculated. It seems so intentional and subtle. Like they didn't think anyone would zoom in and read the copy of the papers in the background of this product shot. I'm so turned off by this brand. I think it's just not okay. I can't think of any other words. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think there's 2 different conversations to be had. I think the documents thing is so twisted. That doesn't happen by accident.
No.
Like, whether it's someone who is like researching child pornography laws and then those were the documents in the office that they put on the desk, maybe, or like it's some intentional person like signaling like, hey,
subliminal
saying,
messaging.
Hey, look at me. Like, that's so fucking twisted. And I feel like child pornography and like child abuse and pedophilia is so rampant in like the world, and it's so crazy to me. We talk about, like, I can't even wrap my head around how
all the sex trafficking, it's like
prevalent,
millions of people a year,
how
we don't even know about it.
And then you see shit like this and it's like, it's even more prevalent than you could possibly know. And then there's the other thing where it's, yes, as you said, like a judgment error. But if your judgment error is BDSM and children and mixing the two, you need help.
No,
you are sick. I feel like kids are the line just keeps moving. And of course this crosses the line for everyone. But the fact that anybody thought it was okay, themes could collaborate for a shoot, like, we're sick people.
No, it's
not
it's
me.
It's very disturbing. It's
and
very
not you
disturbing.
if you're a toaster, but you,
100%.
The world at large.
No, it's very disturbing, and I think we must protect the kids. We got to protect the kids.
Nobody's protecting the kids. Actually, the kids are, I feel like, less protected than ever. The people are using like kids to protect adults. Yeah. Protect the children in all ways, shapes, and forms. Amen. Let kids be kids. And if you have to ask, BDSM and children, they don't jive.
No, they do not.
So I'm actually, not that I don't think I'm a Balenciaga girly. I actually think their shit's pretty ugly.
I don't think I own anything.
If I was ever tempted though, like, I'm out. Like, you guys need to do a full investigation into the rampant pedophilia in your company.
Agreed.
Because if it's making it into like the consumer facing advertising, it runs deep.
Yeah, that's true.
So figure your shit out. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for our next story?
Yes.
Positive, wonderful news. Cheer star Gabi Butler signs with the WWE. That's a mouthful. The WWE. She said, "I never thought cheerleading would take me this route." Cheer star Gabi Butler is ready to take athleticism to a new sport. The longtime gymnast has officially signed a contract with WWE. She exclusively shares with People magazine. Gabi says she fell in love with wrestling this summer after attending SummerSlam in Nashville. She said, "I was blown away by what they put on." She admitted that she never considered the sport. She was focusing on cheer. She said, "I was so involved in cheerleading, in the cheerleading industry for so long, and I never really looked into anything other than cheerleading. But when I went to SummerSlam, it really just opened my eyes to the athleticism and the dedication the athletes bring into the ring." She says she admired the way they performed and the competitive atmosphere, which isn't so different from her experience in cheerleading. It was almost like I was watching a cheerleading competition, but wrestling edition.
You know, one of the huge takeaways I had from Cheer, the documentary, was like how much of a shame it is that there's not really a life for a professional adult cheerleader. It's a sport that ends at the college level, and it's like, what do you do after all that training? You're 21, you've given your whole life to this sport, and you have to go and get a job like in a restaurant or in marketing. Like, it's not what you had been training for. And I never really thought about this as an option, and I have to say, I think this makes a shit ton of sense, and I actually think this is an amazing next step for Gabi Butler.
Amazing next step. It makes so much sense. I can't believe it's not been thought of before. Or maybe there have been like professional cheerleaders who go into WWE, but they weren't famous before from cheer because there was no big documentary about them. So we don't know. But I think that this is so awesome. I think this is great for Gabi's career because she can continue doing what she's doing and in the spotlight. And I think it's great for WWE because I think it will bring a new audience. She has such a huge audience, a young audience. And I think that on all fronts, like, what would this has the girl boss town stamp of approval,
GBT stamp of approval, yeah. But also the WWE has been just kind of killing it recently in their castings. Like, they cast Logan Paul, and I think that was amazing for them because Logan Paul has become, you know, somewhat of like a figure in the wrestling space, and he has such a huge young international audience. And I think Gabi Butler is just like another A+ casting for them. I think this is great. For real.
Yeah, and she will definitely have the chops. I think there's a little more she'll have to learn, like, especially about the, like, the
staging.
The theatrics, but I think she will be very successful. Did you check your DMs this morning? Did you see that there's a big toaster in WWE Diva community? She DM'd us this morning.
Be right back. Why didn't you show it to me? Like,
you're in the chat.
No, but
and so I
when you
figured,
alert
and I
me to
responded,
it.
so I thought you would see it. She
Oh,
was
'cause
like
you
loving the
responded.
toast, and she's a really big WWE diva. So shout out.
I
And that was
literally
exciting to
have
see this
nothing
morning.
here.
It's just a WWE sort of day. You know when that happens?
For sure. I don't see a single thing in my DMs, but I'll look into it deeper later.
Okay, it's cool
Maybe
stuff.
it's just you. I think this
you're
is
there.
great.
I know how Instagram DMs work.
Okay. I didn't see it.
You're blind. I'm sorry.
I don't think
I'll
so.
send it to you. Send it to you right now.
I love Gabi Butler, and I feel like she has, done everything she can do until a certain age. Like, she transferred to multiple colleges. She did like these summer programs. She keeps doing what she can to like get on squads.
Gabi Butler is like the most educated woman in America because she keeps going to college.
A junior college, a senior college, a 4-year program, a 2-year program, a summer program. She keeps joining different programs to get on different squads because there's really nowhere to go after college. So she is just taking her time getting her degree. And I love it. I really do.
Yeah, she's getting her degree on her own time.
Do you think she'll cheer for Education Connection next year?
That's what Education Connection needs. They need a commercial with Gabi Butler.
GBT, stamp of approval.
So yeah, some news that makes sense today. You love to see it.
Some athletic news.
Are you ready for our next story?
If it's the next story, that's brought to you by Beekeepers Naturals.
Oh, yes.
We have been using propolis every day to help support our immune systems and keep our bodies healthy when we start to feel run down, which can be really common in the winter time. So the propolis immune support throat spray has been a daily ritual for me because I have throat problems. Like, I'm very immune to strep. I always have a sore throat. Like, on cold days, I'll wake up with a sore throat. And I find that like being proactive with the propolis immune support throat spray from Beekeepers Naturals has really made it a huge difference. It can help soothe my scratchy or irritable throat. So propolis is made by bees, which we just know, like, anything a bee makes is going to work, It's made by bees and it's backed by science. So bee propolis acts as the bee's medicine, and it also contains vitamins B, vitamin C, zinc, over 300 beneficial compounds and minerals that are amazing for the human immune system. Propolis is the defender of the hive, and bees use it to protect their hive from any bacteria that might harm them. It's basically the hive's immune system. And so medicinal use of propolis dates way back to before 300 BCE in the times of Aristotle. Aristotle is thought to have coined the word propolis, which means defender of the city. So Beekeepers Naturals has given us an exclusive early access to their Black Friday sale, which is the biggest sale of the year. When you go to beekeepersnaturals.com/toast or use code TOAST at checkout to get early access and receive 30% off site-wide. So stock up on their products now before they sell out. Also, we're just entering the winter months, and I feel like that's when everybody's like immunity goes to shit and they really need that good stuff in their house to be stocked up on. So Black Friday is a great excuse to get all your favorite Beekeepers Natural products. I think I found out about the throat spray from Lauren Bostic a few years, maybe like a year ago, and it's really made a huge difference. I have a bad throat. I don't know what it is. Beekeepers Natural products are also available at Target, Whole Foods, CVS, and Walgreens. But if you want to start feeling better every day, do that today at beekeepersnaturals.com/toast and use code TOAST at checkout to get early access to their 30% off site-wide Black Friday sale.
Wonderful. Thank you, Claudia. So important to keep your immunity up this time of year. It's wild out there.
It's wild out there.
Our next story, Julia Fox says she dated Kanye to get him off of Kim's case. Did you see Julia's TikTok?
So it's been real. I was thinking about it this morning, actually, because this is just the nature of the internet. Julia Fox became really popular on TikTok like 2 months ago when people were like saying and commenting, Julia Fox is really not what we thought she is. She's an intellect. She's a woman who supports other women. Like, they were gassing her up, like living for it. And what the internet giveth, the internet must taketh away. So then it was like the narrative started to change. It's like, well, how great can Julia be if she dated Kanye? He's a misogynist. Right. So it's like now her fault, everything Kanye has done. And so she is being like super transparent, responding to comments, being like, this is what I think about this, and this is my response to this, not doing any like formal statements or anything. She was like, I was going to put this all in my book, but you know what? Like, let's just get into it now.
Yeah, so she really got into it. I was surprised at like how I never heard her talk so into one long stretch like that, even though and it just felt like she was being really honest and like talking about like a thing that everybody wants to know about, which was like that 1 month. Because even though we watched that interview of her on Call Her Daddy, I feel like we didn't get
no, I feel like the interview on Call Her Daddy was actually like a really poor representation of who she actually is, especially because the only thing people took away from that was Anka Jam.
Right. No, but it was more like
extremely well read and really smart.
It was like her life story, but at the time she was dating Kanye. They broke up like 2 days later, and so she wasn't really talking about dating Kanye, like, and what that was like. So it felt to me like the first full picture that we saw of it. So she talked about like how they got together. She said, I remember he was texting me and I wasn't really answering, and I didn't want to talk to a celebrity again because nothing ever comes of it. It's boring and they're not what you think they're going to be like.
So true.
She noted that she realized Kanye wasn't giving up, and that's when she realized that she may be doing his ex-wife a favor by answering. She said, then I had this thought. I was like, oh my God, maybe I can get him off Kim's case and get him to like me. And if I knew anyone could do it, it would be me, because when I set my mind to something, I do it. And she talks about when he was with her, like he was really normal and he wasn't bothering Kim and he wasn't tweeting and he wasn't on social media. And then when he did do all of those things, she was out.
So let me just say, I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe Julia Fox's impetus and only impetus for dating Kanye was to be a friend to Kim. Like, I'm not buying
she talks also in the video how, like, she's always admired the Kardashians. They bought her clothing line for their store 10 years ago. Yeah, and we know that.
Because, like, when she popped off, then people started finding, like, anytime she's ever said anything about the Kardashians. And she's a huge fan because she's obviously a woman of taste.
I feel like when factoring her decision to date Kanye, maybe it was 5%. Let's help Kim. Maybe it was
1%. Yeah,
20% Birkin.
No, but also, like, look what became. You know, nobody
maybe
knew Julia
it was
Fox
50%. The opportunities this could provide.
She's the it girl of fashion. She goes to every fashion show. She walks in fashion shows. She's literally in magazine spreads. Her podcast is huge now. She's huge on TikTok. Like, that's what happens when you date Kanye. Not to like strip her down to that is her only accomplishment. She's obviously very accomplished. But the only reason I know who she is, and the only reason why millions of people know who she is because of Kanye. And that's fine. You would do it too for a check. Like, I understand. Like, I would do it.
Yeah,
so let's not
knew
pretend.
That it's a platform, but also I think there's also something about her that people have grabbed, like people are obsessed with, or the industry is obsessed with, because Kanye has been spotted with
a
other
lot of
women
girls
over the course of the last few years since they were divorced, and even before he even met Kim. And like what Julia, where she is kind of
remarkable,
unprecedented.
No, yeah. I completely agree. I think like once we all got to know her, I was ready to write her off. Like once Kanye, I was like, all right, this is the end of the Julia Fox chapter. But she kept popping up, and everything I was seeing, I was like, she's kind of wacky. She's really smart. She's got charisma. There's something there. There's a star quality there, which is why, like, you know, people on TikTok are obsessed with her. But we'd be remiss if we didn't at least acknowledge that that's all because of Kanye.
Yeah, like where we met her. But I think that happens to other people all the time. They have like a moment and then they make the most of it, and they're here to stay, you know?
Because they have that star quality.
That's like, that reminds me of Emrata in the music video.
Yeah.
You know, you forget that that's where you saw her first, and so many other girls are in famous music videos, and they're just like that. But now you actually forget that's where you first met her. And because
Mason Ramsey.
She has so many other things. No, Mason Ramsey will always be like the boy yodeling.
I know. Not to me, though. To me, he's just like a really talented, young, sweet kid.
Who yodeled in Walmart.
Right. But I do often forget.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think of him as the Walmart yodeling kid. Mostly because he's grown up so much, he actually looks so different.
I think of him as like the viral, the Walmart yodeling kid. But like it does so much more still, but I don't think you could ever separate him from that. And I don't think that you should ever separate him from that. But I think for like Julia and Emrata, like those were like launching pads. But
they stuck around.
It's what they've made of it. Yeah.
Right. And I think there's a lot of people who have gone viral, especially for singing, and a lot of them don't have the chokehold that Mason Ramsey has on our culture.
Yes. Yeah.
That was the point I was trying to make.
Got it. Okay. I understand. It's a separate but different point, but I understand.
No, I think it's the same point.
No. That's not the initial point. Like, now you're gaslighting me because
the point we were saying was like people who get a platform, everyone gets a platform, but like in order to stick around, you got to have something. And that's literally Mason Ramsey.
But what I was saying was you actually forget what that initial small thing was that they did because they've done so much more since.
Right, so that's what you were saying.
And you said,
so
like Mason Ramsey. And then you said, like Mason Ramsey. So
like Mason Ramsey, yeah.
But we can't forget.
I can forget. I don't even think about Walmart. But maybe that's because I'm such a Mason fan.
I don't think anyone's a bigger Mason fan.
Do you still think of him as the Walmart yodeling kid? Like, I think of him as like Old Town Road. I think of him as like, you know, teenage heartthrob.
I think of him as like the viral internet yodel country singer who's done amazing things and is still has his sanity.
I'm on my way. I don't want to take for granted this ground on which I'm standing. His music is so good.
That one song is
it's very beautiful. On my way up the mountain, I want to look around and take in every sunset before it fades. He's got to get the little yodel in there.
If you like country music, listen to On My Way by Mason Ramsey. You're going to be really surprised with what you hear.
It's actually a perfect Thanksgiving song. Like, it's all about slowing down, looking around, taking in what's happened to you, being grateful for all that you have. It's really beautiful.
It's about acknowledging the space you're in.
Quite literally.
Are you ready for our next story?
Yes.
It's another space you could be in. Taylor Swift's Cornelia Street rental townhouse hits the market at $45,000 a month after the home served as inspiration for the track about her early days of her romance with Joe Alwyn. So Taylor's iconic Cornelia Street townhouse has hit the rental market in London for an eye-watering...
Not London.
I'm sorry, the West Village. You know what? All this time I thought it was in London. And then I saw it was located in the West Village and I thought that was London too.
Oh my God, you've been out of New York for a month. Are you okay?
No, because you know how all like New York neighborhoods are, they have Soho, Chelsea. There's also in London.
Oh, and that's true. I never thought about that.
And I also just assumed like it was Joe. She had a house in London on Cornelia Street. I literally in this moment just learned that Cornelia Street is about Manhattan and not London.
No, but there's that line in the bridge about being in the tunnel and turning around. Like, she was literally in like the Lincoln Tunnel and like went back, you know?
Well, are there not tunnels in London? What about the tube?
I don't know, but like we call in New York, it's like the tunnel, you know?
No, but like they might have a tunnel. Well, one, I don't know.
But they don't call it the tunnel.
I don't know the lyrics as intimately as you do, but I wouldn't hear the tunnel and be like, was this set in New York? Like to me, it just was set in London. It's like the album of London Boy, and it's just a London album.
Well, it's not.
With London tings. I'm shocked. Claude, go rent this townhouse in the West Village.
I know. The thing is like, I've seen pictures of the inside. It's beautiful. There's like a pool, which is unheard of. The outside is literally one of the fuggliest things I've ever seen in my life. It's like this purple, looks like a carriage house. I do believe it is like a former carriage house from like, you know, Gilded Times.
From the next door neighbor, yeah.
Right. That was converted into an actual home, and it's beautiful on the inside, but like it's genuinely one of the ugliest houses I've ever seen.
That's so funny because when I was reading the article earlier, it said that she was living here while her Tribeca apartment was being renovated, and I just thought to myself, she had to go to London because her apartment was renovated. But I was like, maybe it was an excuse to take a trip.
That's so funny. No, it takes place in New York.
This whole story just changed for me, but I kind of liked it better when it was in London.
No, well, it's never been in London for me, so I'm fine.
But now think about it, because I thought then you could rent this house in London. Like, you don't need to rent a house in New York. You have a house in New York. But you could go to London for a month, rent it, see what's going on.
What's so crazy is like when Lover, and this is just a true testament to like the economic times, because when Lover first came out, like everyone like found the house. I remember seeing it was like $22,000 a month. But like inflation and like, you know, the economy and the rental market in New York, like all these factors, it's doubled now.
That's fucking crazy.
I know.
Wow. You should go take a tour as a prospective renter.
Totally. And I can give you 1 week of rent.
No, not even that. Just act like you're a bigwig.
Yeah.
And then be like, honestly, it's not nice enough for me. Who needs a swimming pool? And leave.
Yeah, like, oh, this pool is like kind of gross.
Yikes.
Yikes. You think they've drained the water, or Taylor's like...
I think there's Taylor juice in there.
Yeah, I think there's Taylor juice too.
Why would they? It's also indoor. It's like harder to do all of that, and you don't drain your pool you don't drain it between renters. Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just a little Thanksgiving hack for all of the hosts and guests out there, and it's from TikTok's grandma, Babs, Barbara Costello. has a brilliant hack for taking Thanksgiving leftovers to go. Have you seen this?
Mm-mm.
I saw it, and I feel like everyone needs to know. The 74-year-old social media influencer, the Grandfluencer,
She's
recently
so cute.
shared
Olivia
a
is obsessed with her.
She's really obsessed with it. She has amazing hacks, and this one's actually life-changing for giving guests leftovers on the big day.
Okay.
Use disposable cupcake tins. So you set up a leftover station when everyone's done eating, and have your guests help themselves using like muffin tins that are disposable.
Like tinfoil material.
Like, tinfoil material. They could take a helping of everything, and then the next day they put the whole thing into the oven. They get hot, delicious, no dishes, and you don't have to give away all of your Tupperware.
That's the thing, is like, for me, I am either living in a time of Tupperware abundance or Tupperware depletion. There is no in between. It's just like how many people have I had over and how many other people's homes have I been to in the last couple of months, and that'll dictate my supply.
Yeah, I'm actually low because I was cooking so much and I was bringing over like cookies for Kayla all the time, and I have new Tupperware arriving today in preparation for Thanksgiving because I know that everyone's going to want leftovers, but silly old me should have just gotten these muffin tins, which I will do actually.
That's very smart and very classic Babs, like just making our life easier. If you don't follow Babs, like she's a great follow. She has amazing recipes and also hacks, and she's just precious.
Amazing hacks, especially for hosting Thanksgiving, like for large quantities of like peeling, washing, etc.
Yeah.
Like I am already going to implement some of hers. So I just thought I would leave everyone on that note. Make sure to bring your own, if you're a guest or a host, bring your own muffin tin.
Yeah, but also I do feel like sometimes people like shove you out the door with leftovers, and it's like, it wasn't even that good the first time. No, thank you. Like, how do you politely say no to leftovers?
Oh, of course. Well, you could say like that you are on a diet and like you splurge tonight, but like you can't be.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or yeah, I would just go with that, honestly.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Or take it and like me and Ben sometimes, like if we'll take, Ben has this thing where like if he like doesn't like his meal at a restaurant and like doesn't send it back, he'll just take it to go, being like, I'm so full, but it was so good, I'll take it home. And it's like a full ass meal. And then if there's someone like living on the street or something, like you'll just give it to them. It's like totally full.
Yeah, that's really nice. You could do that too with leftovers.
Yeah, totally. So thank you, Jackie, for, you know, ringing in the holiday weekend with a nice little hack.
Yet welcome. Also, if you want more wonderful Thanksgiving content, Claudia and I are recording today our annual Thanksgiving dinner table Patreon episode. This is the Fast 5 stories that you need to know to navigate the conversation at your Thanksgiving dinner table. They will be very interesting, but also
neutral.
Not polarizing. I don't know if they're like neutral because some of this, you know, everything is layered.
Everything.
But we're going to give you the facts that you need to know to also be able to hold a conversation at the Thanksgiving dinner table.
And know what the fuck everyone's talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
But before we record that, it is time for Dear Toasters, our weekly advice segment where you guys write in and we do our best to help the girlies out. We pick 3 every week, so if yours hasn't been chosen yet, stay tuned. And if you have something you want to write in about, it's deartoasters@gmail.com. And Dear Toasters is brought to you by Away. Away is a travel company that believes that the more we travel, the better we all become. So that's why they make suitcases, bags, and other travel accessories designed to make moving through the world a lot easier. So they have fabulous suitcases. I have a ton. I know Jackie has a ton. It's really the best and only option when it comes to travel. And they're offering I can't even speak. Away offers a range of suitcases, bags, other travel essentials that are made for different types of travelers. Whether you're an overpacker, a minimalist, a travel expert, or anything in between, with its versatile collection of suitcases, bags, and travel accessories, Away offers the perfect holiday gifts for every traveler. All of their suitcases are built to last with durable, lightweight exteriors that can withstand even the roughest of baggage handlers. Every suitcase comes with an interior organization system that includes a built-in compression pad to help you pack more. They have 4 360-degree spinner wheels that guarantee the smoothest roll, and even a TSA approved combination lock that keeps all of your belongings safe. They also have a 100-day trial on everything that they make. So take the product out on the road, live with it, travel with it, get lost with it for 100 days. And if you decide that it's not for you, you can return any non-personalized item for a full refund during that period. They offer free shipping and returns on any orders within the contiguous, I can never pronounce that word, contiguous?
Contiguous.
No,
an extra N?
No, contiguous. Contiguous, US, Europe, Canada, and Australia, except for the personalized products. And Cyber Week, they're having their best deal of the year, $50 off any 2 or $100 off of any 3 suitcases. So it's a great time to stock up. All of their colors, styles, and sizes are included. Their offer ends November 28th. Visit awaytravel.com to score yours. Dear Toasters is also sponsored by Noom. People will try almost anything to lose the weight, insane workouts, eating nothing but grapefruit, questionable teas. But if you're looking for a more sustainable approach, Noom Weight is ready to help. Their psychology-based approach empowers you with knowledge and support to build lasting results, because you can't erase your past or change who you are, but Noom Weight gets that. And everyone's journey is different. Each person has a different goal. Instead of demanding the same strict regimen or drastic changes for everyone, you will get a personalized program that empowers you to build more sustainable habits. That's how they've helped more than 3.6 million people and counting lose weight. Noom is proven it's effective. They have an amazing online food database. They also have a great community. So while you're going through it, it can be hard sometimes. Talking and engaging with other people who are going through the exact same thing is actually really, really helpful on the journey. If you're done trying everything to lose weight, then just try Noom Weight. You can sign up for your trial today at noom.com/toast. That's NOOM.com/toast to sign up for your trial today. Check out Noom's first ever book, The Noom Mindset, a deep dive into the psychology of behavioral change. It's available for pre-order wherever books are sold. All right, dear Toasters, thank you to everyone who has written in this week. And here we go. And away we go. Hey, Jackson Claude. I have some office drama that I need your help with. We had our first in-person company happy hour since before COVID, and needless to say, people got very drunk. I decided to leave before things got too crazy, but the next day I had several different sources tell me that my good work friend who just got married was seen by her employees and her coworkers making out with another guy at the back of this hotel. And they even disappeared together for a long time. Before I found this out, I even talked to this friend the morning after, and she mentioned none of this happening. I'm not sure if she even remembers doing this. Do I tell my friend that people around the office are saying this about her behind her back, or do I just let it be and keep pretending that I don't know? XO, a confused coworker.
2 questions. 1, like, how good of friends are you guys? And 2, how many people know that you know? Could you get away with pretending like you don't know and making it not your problem, considering like this is your workplace and you don't need to be getting involved in people's personal affairs?
I would avoid any sort of like interwork gossip and drama at all costs. Like, I just think deny.
I honestly wouldn't tell her. Maybe she doesn't remember. Maybe she does remember or doesn't. Like, this is her problem. Maybe the less people, like, maybe she can hopefully convince herself that no one knows. And if you're the only one to tell her, then like it just gets really awkward.
You're bursting the bubble.
Considering these are your work friends, I would just keep it professional. You know, it's a very rare occurrence when you make a work friend that is a real friend for
lifelong
life. For the most part, like, this is work. This is not personal. Like, we're here to work, and these people are not your friends, so act accordingly.
No, I completely agree.
Stay above it.
Let this be a lesson to everyone. Like, never have more than 2 drinks at a work happy hour. Like, nothing good is going to come of it ever.
That's the lesson, especially as we head into holiday season, especially we head into corporate holiday parties. You guys, if you want to avoid having to write into unburdening yourselves and dear Toasters, do not have more than 2 drinks at the work holiday party, and do not be the last one there.
Do not be the last one there.
Appropriate time and go out with your real friends.
Right. No, make plans for after, so you get a little buzz at the holiday party, and then you get to go out with like your real friends.
It's a stop along the way. It's not the destination.
That's such a good fucking way of putting it.
If you take any advice from us ever, please let it be. Do not get drunk at work events. Nothing good comes from it. And this is your job, and you need your job, and you don't want to jeopardize it. You don't want to feel awkward at the place that you're working. Like, separation.
You have to work alongside these
state.
People. Totally.
That's all I'll say.
So, and that's also like, this isn't your best friend, so you don't feel this like obligation to help her through this. Like, it's her fucking problem. You know, like, she made her bed, let her lay in it, and I think you're off the hook. Like, it's not your problem.
I would stay out of it.
Stay out of it. Dear Jackson Claude, this is a crazy story. Ready?
Okay.
7 of my friends had planned to go to the Taylor concert together, but you can only buy a maximum of 6 tickets. We had planned to buy a set of 4 seats and then 3 seats together. Obviously, it turned out to be harder than we thought to get through the queue, so the one person who actually got through just bought 6 together. There were 4 out of the 7 of us who actually sat in the queue, opened Capital One cards, did whatever we could to get pre-sale, etc. It was determined that we would draw names out of a hat to determine who gets a ticket. But am I crazy for thinking that the 4 of us whose asses sat in the queue for hours that we should get tickets immediately. I suggested this and it was like I had 4 heads. We ended up just drawing names, and the girlie who put her literal heart and soul into trying to get tickets was the odd man out. So I have given my spot to her, but secretly I'm devastated that the girls who did nothing didn't volunteer. Must be nice to do literally nothing and get to see Taylor. Am I psycho for being low-key like so mad? Sincerely, a loyal toaster just trying to see Taylor. Girl, you are so fucking justified. And the fact that the friend group didn't immediately draw 3 names instead of all 7 is so unethical. 2. What?
2 names they would need to draw.
Well, yeah, put 3 in a hat instead of putting all 7 in a hat.
Yes.
It's so unethical. It's unfair. And I demand a recount. I said this episode to them. That's so wrong on so many levels. The girls who worked hard and did in the queue and did all that shit and opened up their credit, like, sorry, they go, and the 3 of you lazy fucks, 2 of you get to go.
Right. I also imagine that the 4 who tried the hardest are the biggest fans, so they want to go the most. And let me ask you something. Is the person who actually bought the tickets, did they immediately get to go? Or
right, who put her credit card
down?
Did
they have to draw 2? That is so crazy and foolish. And by the way, like, this isn't binding in any way, shape, or form. Like, it should be redone. And why won't the 4 girls, you guys are the majority, the girls
band
who
together
waited for tickets, why won't you guys band together?
No. And the 4 girls who banded together, if they band together, they have the one girl who actually physically has the tickets. Possession is 9/10 of the law. They have all the power.
I would say redo. Just be like, you guys, this isn't sitting right with me. Jenny should be able to go. She sat on line all day. Like, no offense, you know, Susan, Larry,
Tracy.
Like,
Tracy. Tracy.
Like, you guys didn't
put in the work.
You didn't, like, and you guys should feel weird about the fact that you're going to take a ticket from someone who really wants to go. Honestly, I'm not going if this is the way that we're going. I don't want this to become the friend group, but like, it's wrong.
It's so wrong. It's so unethical. Like, that's the perfect word. It goes against all that is right. And I'm mad on your behalf. You are so valid in your feelings, and
I wouldn't want to go with
it.
these girls. I would say I'm not going.
The girl who has the tickets should sell them all, and everyone can go like fend for themselves.
Yeah, she should make a buck.
The girl should sell 3 of them. She'd double her profits. The 4 girls.
But the girl isn't even on her side, it seems, because when she suggested it, like, everyone thought she was crazy.
Send this to the girls, the 4. Send this to the 4. Like, you need to band together. Those other 3 are lazy. That's that.
That's that. There's no moral ambiguity here.
No. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and this is clearly wrong.
But look at Taylor, like, putting these friends through
dividing
the
women.
She would hate
so our
to
third
know.
and final, Dear Toasters, is like a little long. It's longer than we would normally do, but it's so interesting. And it involves, you know, a strice bro. So we have to help. Okay, third and final, Dear Toasters, let's get into it. Hello, Jackson Claude. I always wanted to have something to write in about, and I fucked around and I found out. I'm desperate. I need advice urgently, and I don't want to get my friends or family involved in the mess, so I'm running to my amazing circle of cyber friends to help. I've been married for 7 years, and I got a dog a little bit over a year ago. My husband did not think it was a good idea to get a dog, and he said I'd have to take full responsibility of the puppy if we got one, meaning meals, walks, training, etc. Fast forward a year, and of course now he's in love with the dog, let's call him Theo, and he's been helping out here and there. Since I got Theo, I had planned to get him fixed as soon as he turned 1. My husband is now feeling really strongly about not fixing him. We've been talking about it for months in the hopes of convincing him, making lists of pros and cons, etc. Still, neither of us are willing to budge. I went ahead and made an appointment for Theo to get fixed today. And last night, my husband said he was going to take him on a walk and came back without him. Says he won't let me mutilate Theo and would rather give him away than let me go through with it. He won't tell me where Theo is, and I'm heartbroken. So much so that I packed a bag and left our apartment for the night to stay at a hotel. What do I do? I'm sure Theo is fine and that I'll see him again, but this is crossing a line, right? Divorce is not going through my mind, but a simple fight and giving up sounds wrong too. As much as he is helping out, Theo was always my dog, and I feel so powerless now. What should I do? I don't even know what options should be on the table, like a police report, divorce, folding, and not fixing Theo. Am I being overly dramatic? Thank you, girls. From a toaster who is at a loss for words. P.S. This is not like my husband. He's not psycho generally, and is usually pretty rational. This is some psychotic motherfucking behavior. I've never heard of anything like this. For me, like, this shows a really bad side of your husband. Like, this is so manipulative and so childish. And where is the dog?
Yeah, this is really, really weird. I have a few questions, but like the first thing that comes to mind is like, I'm assuming they don't have kids yet, but someone who would do this like with a dog, like it just makes you worried about having kids with them, because what if you want to do something for your child one day and your husband disagrees, and so he's going to take your child away from you,
right,
until you come around to his way of
He's treating
thinking.
you like a child.
My only question is like, if you're saying this is so out of character and like this is so shocking and you don't really want to weigh divorce, and if you do want kids but now you can't have kids with him, if this is something that he thinks is a normal thing to do, then you would probably have to get divorced. My question is like, what is his reasoning against fixing him? It seems like he has this like a really, really strong moral, like what is it? It's just because like that's not what he wants for him, or like there's some like deeper, this is like a hill that he needs to die on, this is his cause, maybe he's like an activist against like fixing dogs,
mutilation. Like, no, yeah, because the thing is like at the core of this argument, like you're right, like dogs really should be fixed. There's like a number of health benefits, and what are you going to start breeding dogs in your garage? Like, dogs are already like an overbred species. Like that's why we fix them. That's why they get spayed and neutered. So I agree with you on the mutilation, if you will. So not only is he wrong there, he's doubling down and doing something that is so like evil.
Yeah, no, it's like honestly, argument to fix him or not fix him, like I don't think there's like a right or wrong. It's a personal preference, but the idea that like because he didn't get his way, this is how he responds is extremely insane. And I think that it's a much bigger issue than just like he hid the dog for a night. And where, and also like, do you guys have a lot of friends and family in town? Is that like where he is, or is he, where the fuck is he? Like, I need to know what he did.
So I feel like in terms of a plan, you need to concede on the fixing just to get the dog back. If that's like, we have to get the dog first.
Yes.
So be like, all right, you know what? I'm so miserable. I won't do it. Get the dog back in your house. Take the fucking dog, pack a bag, and get out. And then we'll come up with a plan. But like, you need to ensure that the dog is returned safely. That's number one priority here. Because if like this man knows how much the dog means to you and is like punishing you by withholding it, that's like low key evil. And I know you're not considering divorce, but like this is really like a psychotic thing to do, and really like indicative of a very manipulative side of him.
Yeah, this is a really psychotic thing to do. I think you need to get the dog back, so cancel the appointment. Again, like whether you guys wind up fixing him or not fixing him is irrelevant. Even if he was able to like convince you using his words, like it's not even about
I love how he's making this decision for a dog he didn't even fucking want.
Oh, of course. And that's just, you know, the cherry on top. But even if it was equally their dogs, like that's not how you respond when you're not getting your way. Mm-hmm. And that's the concerning part. So I think you get the dog back, table the fixing conversation, and then you need to really assess, like, maybe now in considering this, like there are some other things that he's done in the past that you're seeing differently. Like,
right,
this is serious. And also, like, I think that you need to, like, considering what he did was so serious, like you need to escalate your response to serious. Yeah. And even if that's getting the dog, taking a beat, packing your bags, leaving for a little bit, like he needs to realize that what he did was absolutely psychotic behavior, period, point blank. And that, you know, literally you fuck around and you find out actions have consequences. Like, you want to be a dog napper, you're not going to have your wife at home.
Yeah, because like the fact that like his response was to hurt you so deeply, to take someone's dog away and like not know where they are and like put them in a constant state of like panic, is a really, really evil thing to do. Like,
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he didn't take the dog so that to cause you harm. He took the dog so that he could get his way and the dog wouldn't get fixed. If the dog's not here, she can't take the dog to the appointment. I think that hurting you and like making you worried was an unfortunate byproduct of that. I don't think he was like trying to hurt you. He was just doing anything to get his way.
But not even thinking about his wife's feelings. Like, that's so mean.
Yeah, no, because his way and his feelings are more important.
No, this is this is the biggest red flag I've ever seen in my life. It's not even a flag. It's a fucking it just scares me to think about like what this person will do with a child if he's this controlling about a dog, and this is the lengths that he'll go to. That's a really good point. It's like when you think about like shared children, he's going to be even more impassioned about a decision, no matter, this isn't even like a huge decision. Like, imagine like a real decision with kids, like that has real implications, and you guys disagree. And it seems like this is such a weird hill to die on.
Yeah. So I would also want to know like why he's dying on this hill. You know, maybe there's a childhood trauma or something.
Right.
But barring that,
things to do immediately is to put on an act, concede, get the dog back, just so we know the dog is back with you and safe. And then you and the dog have to go somewhere, like go to your mom's, go somewhere, go to a friend's, a hotel. You like absolutely need to show him how seriously not fucking okay this is, like, and how serious you're taking it. Like, I would even go so far as to like put him on a no contact for like a week.
Yeah. And and in that week you need to think. You need to think back, and
of course write us an update,
assess, and you need to update us.
I'm very disturbed by this. It's really, I think I've heard, you know, many stories of like people who break up or they have partners who are, you know, like borderline abusive and like manipulative, like using the dog as collateral because, you know, they know how much their wife or their girlfriend loves the dog, and like stealing the dog. Dogs are often used as like pawns and chess pieces in relationships, and it's so fucked up. And let's not forget, like, it's your dog. So in a legal sense, like if we're going to be legal, the dog is yours.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really sorry you're going through that. If I didn't know where Theo was she wrote in on Tuesday morning and this happened Monday night. So it's been now like 36 hours without your dog. I'm really sorry. Like I think immediate plan, get the dog back.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure it out. And write in again, because I would love to help you once you get the dog back.
Yes, keep us posted.
And I'm so sorry you're going through that, but thank you for writing in. I hope we were helpful. And if anyone wants to write in, again, it's deartoasters@gmail.com. That is our episode, and that is our final episode of the week. So anything you want to say to the peeps before we let them go for Thanksgiving?
Just that we're having a huge sale over at toastmerch.com, up to 50% off on all old, like not new items. So the new holiday collection isn't on sale, but everything over the years, over the past year, is on sale.
Not like other girls, hired earn, 100%, beautiful, stunning, smart.
Up to 50% off. There's even some old, like last year's holiday merch.
Yeah.
So there is technically holiday stuff on sale, up to 50% off. The prices are insane. So head over to toastmerch.com and you can get this season's holiday collection and some of the sale items. The sale is already on, so just head over to the sale section and shop.
And have a great weekend. Don't forget to be thankful for the toast and your girls. And yeah, have a great holiday. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to The Toast, the Millennium Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. So if you listen to podcasts, find us, The Toast. Leave a 5-star review about how wickedly talented we are. Have an amazing holiday weekend. We'll see you guys back in studio on Monday. Bye.
Bye.